and rest stroke. This hand, you're going to just go up once this week. I want you to concentrate on thumb. Keep the thumb perpendicular and just go really slow. The only other thing, of course, is to keep the fingers down. Rest stroke. When you get to there, just push again and work your way up to the top. That's this hand's warm-up. This hand's warm-up. I'm going to go down, up with 2 adjacent strings. Don't look at it. You may or may not want to go faster. I don't much care about that right now. Then I'm going to skip a string. Going to get used to the sound of that. Again, you want to go quicker, go ahead, but more important is fullness of sound and accuracy. Then I skip 2 strings. Don't look at the guitar. Just hear the sound and go for that sound then. If you hit the wrong one, that's okay, just go right back. The next one. Good, and the last one. Try not to overshoot. Now, the one that we're going to end up using more right now is going to be 3 adjacent strings. Use the top 3, they're the easiest. Now, if I play my G with a downstroke, the B is an upstroke, and the E is a downstroke, and the B is an upstroke. Now, I get a down, up, down, up. This motion is what I call the motor. Yes, we're hitting single notes, but it's still the motor. It's an 8th note sound, in other words. And it's using the down-up alternate picking. I want to put a chord on there, so we got let's say a D. Now, once you've got that going really nice with the down up, you might want to try strumming it down up. Go ahead and do it a mess of times until that's really comfortable. Then down up with a strum. Make them the same exact tempo. That idea will work with any chord. If I did it with a G, for instance, I'll give you a hint. I could use the top 3 strings, and that sounds fine, but the best ones are probably going to be the D, the G, and the B string. So long as there's 3 adjacent strings right next to each other, the down, up feels exactly the same. So if I do it on those 3 strings, I'm kind of in the middle, so it's easier to go to the full chord. I could do it on any 3 adjacent, so if I went to these 3, I'd get this. These 3, I'd get these. Try and keep your touch light and fluid and make the sound pleasing to your ear. If you're good at that, you could try with a progression, you know, maybe a G to C or something like Sorry. Here's my C again. Okay, there's some right hand work. Now we talked about our scale. When it comes to the key of G, I really do want to be able to play my G both ways. Here's my G with 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Here's my G with the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Now, I'm going to start with the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Notice my 1st finger is in the 2nd fret. I call that 2nd position. If it was in the 3rd, it'd be 3rd position, etc., etc. But I'm here, and this is where my chord is, and it's right underneath my fingers. Now, when I work my way up the scale then, I end up with a 3rd finger on the 4th fret. That's the defining F sharp that makes G sound like G. Here it is again. Get good at down and up on that part. If I was to continue going up the scale, I'd start on this G and end on that G. But in this part of the scale, I would play my G with second, third, and fourth. And the reason is, if I work up, I need that first fret C. And for no other reason, I have to switch my position to get there. And then I can finish out the scale without doing any funky things with my fingers. It's all one finger per fret. Now, if I wanted to do both octaves, I'd start here with this type of G, so I could get to that third finger, F sharp, open G, and then I move my hand down to get to the A. When I hit the A, I move up and get the rest of the scale. Now, I suggested to get the scale good, we're going to do just 2 strings. So if I start on the top 2 strings, what you do is get good at the feel of it, try not to look, and then you challenge yourself, see if you can get some speed out of it, and always slow back down when you found your limit. On the next 2 strings, I'd get, and I would again challenge myself. On the next 2 strings, though, I'm at that place where I have to do the switch in position. Let's say I start this way. Here's my G, which is my home sound. If I go above and I'm going up the scale, my second finger does it, doesn't it? But if I go below, the third finger has to move up to get the F sharp. So it's worth it to practice this idea. G, second finger A, G, third finger F sharp. That way your hand is actually rocking back and forth a little bit. It's moving from first position to second position. As that becomes easy, you go ahead and fill it out the rest of it. Notice every time I go to that A, I'm going to move my hand down to first position. The lower part of the scale, you're already in position, so. And here, you don't have to do anything funny with your fingers for those. Get good at 2 at a time, and it'll help you with your playing. I like to do something I call slow practice. And what I mean by that is you're not going to find a jam track for this likely. So you might just want to take your phone and just give yourself a G chord. Just do like a bass drum maybe. And do it for, I don't know, a couple minutes. Just playing on a G. That way you can start to play the scale against it and find those target notes. All right? The other thing we talked about today was the famili again, and the importance of the famili, and we talked about some of the fingerings, and I think you have tapes of those. And just as a quick reminder, if I'm in the key of C, my 1, 4, and my 5 are my major sounds, or my primary colors. And we did some ear training today as well, so any of those ear training sheets, go through them. Can't figure out one, bring it in and tell me, and we'll figure out why. The secondary chords are the 2. Now the 2 right above C is a D. So I can't play C major, can't play D7, I have to play D minor. The minor is what makes it secondary. The 3 is also minor. So the 4. The 3 is going to be a minor E. A good song to practice might be to 2 on a Sunday afternoon. So it's 1 to 2. Now you go to the 3 and back to the 2. And it does that 3 times. Notice how I'm keeping a nice steady quarter note. When you sing, you want to get to the quarter note level at this point, then you're back to the beginning. Now, the only other chord is our 6th chord in the key of C. C, D, E, F, G is an A. So A has to be minor. It's a special one. It's a relative minor. And notice I only have to move one finger to get to it. The most important chord progression, probably 1, 6, 4, 5. And all those songs we did on that sheet come into play. If I'm in the key of G, here's my G. The 2 is A minor. The 3, you pointed out, this is a good B minor. But I also said, well, if this is A minor, I could get a kind of a B by just taking that shape up 2 places. And it's a very fun chord progression to play. Try to come up with your own rhythms, make it kind of your own, right? So here's my one, grooving on a Sunday afternoon. Now I'm going to go to my 3, I just slide up. Etc., etc. All right, and of course in the 50s ballad progression with the 6 would be G. Just drop that second finger. Here's my E minor. Leave the second finger, pivot to the C. Take the first finger, keep the first finger down and go to your G7. And then slide the third finger up and you're back to G. And you could do all those 50s ballads. Here's my story, it's sad but true, about a girl that I once knew. She took my love and ran around with every single guy in town, right? And all of them, give it a shot. Whatever one comes to your voice best is the one you're going to probably stick with.